Okay, good morning, good afternoon,
Morning.
good evening, no matter where you are in the world. Welcome to the very first episode of the Ravolution show with your host, Rav Singh. And today, on our very first episode, I am with a very special guest, our very in house trader here at RSG, Mr. Shivam. Mr. Shivam, welcome to the Ravolution show.
Yes, sir. It's good morning there, as we say. We going to meet the people around the globe. So it's a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever suits as per their own time. And I want to thank God first that I met you through Instagram profile where actually to become a trader, it's not an accident. It was one of the dream I had when I was work for a company in Bangalore in India. So I worked there in for 3 years. After that, I always have a passion for that side plan B, but the plan B now is a plan A and plan A to Z. That's all. So I'm
That's
into
it.
the facts that it is.
We will always have different plans moving forward, and I'm happy to be working with you. And I really wanted to today's podcast just to basically give our clients and our prospective clients an idea as to how we like to work, and what our philosophy is, the transparency that we want to give to our clients, the knowledge. And to let them know that we are really building something quite special, where we give them an in-house development program where they can really understand who we are. So with that, Shelvam, let's move on to the first questions, because I do have a number of questions for you. My
Yeah.
first question is this, okay? So just so the audience know, right, how did you come into FX trading? What is your background? What led you to this?
Yeah. I want to tell you when we are working in a 9 to 5 job, it's a corporate job. So you always in the need for an emergency money which you have to put in a bank account. So that's I came to know what is trading is at the age of 32, actually 32. So it is. I remember it is in 2016 or 17. So I started trading. I started learning about what it is actually. So for the investment purpose, I started with mutual fund where I was introduced to the technical and fundamental both.
So
So
just to confirm, Shelvam, then, just so I can give some clarity, your journey, did it start in 2016 and 2017?
yeah, is when I held a job. So it is my part-time job. So I have to go to my office to my corporate thing. Then when in the evening time, I focus for the market.
So
So I
you was on a
volunteer.
corporate
Yeah,
job. So you had a corporate job, but in 2016 you started to also get involved in trading,
yeah,
and on top of your corporate work, when you would go to an office,
yes,
nighttime you was basically dedicating yourself to learning your craft in
yes.
relation to trading. Okay, please carry on.
That is
Perfect.
good. So what I understood that when people are chatting about this, when I buy this one, sell this one, buy this one, sell this one, I got $100, $500, $1,000, which is equivalent to like $10 to $50 as the if you ask me in a dollar rate. So I was curious why people are chit chatting and they're not telling anything like when to buy, what to buy, and so I always believe in one thing that if you are planning for something, it will happen immediately, but it will happen. What happened actually, I started reading about the local financial a journal which is called Nani Vikatan. Vikatan. It is like it's someone who started sharing about when to start investing. You should start in 25 or you should start in 30, 35, 40. What will happen after that? Once you got a married, family, Christian, blah, 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 so many things. So I thank myself that I took my initiative where I put some money to learn it. I attended a 3 day session in Chennai. That is my capital. I am from Tamil Nadu, so I'm from India. So that is a 3 day session is open up. What is the best thing you can do by putting into the first step into the market? Because when I came to this NSC, that is our exchange, where I was focusing more on stocks initially. So I traded with as people say, so you are into new stuff. So you don't start with a big plan. Don't start with a big capital because if you are ended up in losses, then no one will come and see it. That is the one thing I remember. Trading is it's a business that you are the captain of everything. If there are any losses, you have to sit back and figure out what went wrong, where you went wrong. Did it happen because of you? Did it happen because the things around you, like a macroeconomy or any other global news, that any war, so like a situation like a pandemic, everything came into picture. So the third part, which is I did it, I started with fundamental analysis to where to know what company I have to buy. Even though I work for a company where I was into like a technical editing kind of stuff. So from the job I did made me to read more about everything happening in the world, because the globalization came into picture, and the way the India started growing recently, last a couple of decades, there has been a number of things which opened up my mind to, okay, I should get ready for the easiest way settle down after 50 years. That is the one
So
thing that made me.
just to clarify, because what I want to do is I want to break it up a little bit so that the audience can get a bit of understanding of, a bit more about what it is that you're sort of saying here. Because remember, a lot of our audience, they're learning, because we have a brokerage, and a brokerage is about basically offering a one-stop service. So we connect them to the opportunities, and then our people handle everything. And so a lot of our clients, they won't understand the technical side of the things that you're talking about. So I'm not being rude, I'm not interrupting, but I just want to basically stop in certain elements so that I can explain to the audience where we're at. Otherwise, they're going to lose us. It's as simple as that, right? So
Yes.
you started off basically working your 9 to 5 or working your late night shifts. You got involved in your trading because you realized that this is something that you want to basically study and learn, because it's an opportunity to earn extra income, which is the right thing to do. You got involved in mutual funds. You started turning over small amounts of profits. Then you started to read more about the markets and learn more about the markets. You started to divulge further. Something that you learned, and this is very key when we're basically explaining this to our clients, because this has to be an educational podcast, is that you started off small. You didn't invest large amounts of funds.
Yes.
What you started to do was that you basically started to speculate with smaller amounts, because situations like the pandemic that came on board, like COVID, dropped, these things you can't prepare yourself for psychologically unless you really dedicate yourself for trading and understanding that yes, there's a pandemic coming and we should basically exit the market because everything is going to dip. Not everyone is going to be aware of that. So that's why if you're not on that level of trading and your psychology is not there yet, it's always best to start off small. And that's basically how you started. You started off small.
Yes.
Okay. So from there, if you don't mind me basically pushing a narrative, how did you get to prop trading? Because this is really what our audience wants to know.
Yes, that is a very interesting way to put it on this one. So when I opened an account with one of the broker which I had, my friend who was introduced about, because his cousin was working for a prop firm trader in New York. Actually, he's a retiree one. Like he took the voluntary, he came down. So we met him like what we were doing as in a podcast. We met him. So he introduced that. He told me that, Shivam, if you have this much experience, and I was telling my problem that not everyone can bring a lot of capital. That is very important. So no one can bring more than 25k, 50k, 100k. So he was telling me that you start with prop firm trading. Because in the prop firm term, what two things we have to do, if we follow the rules, and this is a lifesaver for you, for me, and for everybody who can't afford that much capital. The capital is sitting in front of you. How to handle it and how do you want to go for a longer time is the key. So only that is the focus when I introduced the prop firm. So what happened really, actually, that's a good thing. So we have to pay the money and we had the challenges. So as I had a good experience in my market where I am a little bit of kind of expertise I have. But when I come out to international market, again, I am going back to the zero where I should learn what fluctuate the markets every time. Does it happening because of this economic event, or does it happening because of the major shift happening around the world? Everything comes into picture. So initially, I just opened up all the watch list. Then I started narrow it down to a certain pairs where that is giving the confidence to take a trades. So like if it is a gold, or if it's a Bitcoin, or if it's any currency pair, I was in a situation to figure out what is working for me. So it took me more than 6 months to figure out what is working for me, and I cut it down all the noises which is not helping. Even I'm putting a lot of my effort. Like when I working for some other the like New York session or London session, I figured out what is working for me. Let us focus on that stuff. Let's grow slow. Okay. One thing, key important thing is I want to tell you why I'm saying slow and steady is your mantra. Unless you can't survive in this, not because you will be emotionally attached to the fund which is provided by you or anyone that we will we need to be in a situation where we have to focus more on what is working better. Otherwise, we will not have any result. Even if we have a 600K code, you need some system that is working for you.
So Shivam, so just to sort of clarify on that, and that's very educational, even for me as well. Because remember, I built the brokerage here. So the brokerage means that if I was trading, I'll be trading the client funds, right? But my speciality is putting the whole business model together and working with traders like yourself. Even I'm learning. So just to sort of narrow it down, you got involved obviously in your trading, and then somebody inside the corporate trading world got you, gave you the actual insights of prop trading and said, look, this is the way forward as long as you are disciplined and follow the rules that these prop trades give you, because every prop trade has a certain rules and allocations that you basically have to stick to. If you do that, it will make you become a disciplined trader, but more importantly, the profits are there to be earned because they load you with the capital once you pass the challenges. Now, what you did for the first 6 months was that you basically went through the sacrificial phase of learning about yourself more as a trader, where you was trading currencies or cryptocurrencies, pairs, and then you started to realize what works for you. Yes. You started to realize that this is basically my method of trading, which obviously right now, we will go into this. We know that you work with currencies and pairs, but we will obviously move into that. As you basically started to develop that strategy, that is how you become a better prop trader, which is obviously very reassuring for our clients, knowing that you spent a very long time going through this. Because what our clients need to understand is that if everybody could be passing prop trading, then there wouldn't be any requirements for someone like us to build RSG in a brokerage. But the bottom line is it takes a lot of discipline. It does take a lot of failures, unfortunately, a lot of understanding, a lot of self-knowledge. You learn a lot about yourself as a trader, your mindset, your psychology, who you are, the type of person you are, before you can really start to become profitable. It's almost like, life, and you have to grow as an individual. So you went through these periods before you basically started to become, a sufficient and a competent prop trader. So just on that, Shivam, then, because obviously time is of the essence as well. So we know your background. We know how you got involved into obviously prop trading and FX trading. What I would like to know is what is your weakness as a trader compared to your strengths as a trader?
Yes. So this is a topic which you can't. No one wanted to answer directly, or no one wants to discuss on a platform like this. Absolutely. The weakness is, I want to trade. There is a trader. There is a renter. By looking at the other watch list, by looking at the other screenshot, we almost emotionally attached to what they did, because they might have worked one system which may work for them on a day time frame. So if you see other people, if you are excited to what others do, that is your weakness as a trader.
Yes.
So the thing is, be selfish and look your charts and look your setups. Okay. And don't get distracted by the others' payout history, others' payout, the tricky way they're putting some charts, some key element on the chart. Don't get distracted.
Okay.
So you realize that is one everybody weakness. I was looking simple people. This guy doing something. Why I want to trade? Even I tried it. That didn't work, because I believe in spirituality where there is one purpose God made you. Because you will be good at one thing, figure out it, stick to it, and you can make this. That is the one great thing. The weakness is don't underestimate yourself because someone is making win in front of you. Your time will come, please wait for that.
Yeah.
Your instrument will work, wait for that.
So to address the weakness side of a trader, I mean, in terms of how you define yourself as a trader, your weakness would have been, which obviously is something that you understand the psychology of, is if you're following what everybody else is doing. And
that may not work.
Yeah, that may not work. Just because somebody else is doing it doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Yes.
Somebody else is turning over $40,000 profit a month, that doesn't mean you're going to do that. Yes. Basically it comes down to understanding who you are and your goals and your psychology and your discipline and the way that you work. Yes. And then your weakness becomes a strength, essentially. Okay, now that's a really good point actually, because I think people need to understand that is that when you are learning to trade and you're looking at other traders and you see all these great success stories, people seem to think that if they replicate it, they can actually go down the same trajectory, but that isn't always the case.
Yeah,
you
no.
learn your own way of trading. That is absolutely true, Shivam. So I completely respect that. So my other question is, how have you improved as a trader?
Yeah.
It took you 6 months to own your skills. How have you improved as a trader?
Don't give up. And write it down as much as you can on your note, on your PC, or keep it as a desktop, as a screensaver. Don't give up. I want to bring one word done by this Thomas Alva Edison, where he wanted to invent that bulb. He tried 1,000 times, but he did give up till this 1,001st time, because he found out what the proper thing works when he created a bulb. So don't give up. Don't give up.
Okay.
Second thing is, after the day which went long, it is a bad day, not a bad life. That is also one thing I want to tell. And please spend your time to know whether you acted emotionally, to find out whether the market is not happening as per your expectation, or you did some blunder. What the blunder any trader can do: take more lots and not applying stop loss and not waiting for your setup. So how I improved? I used to go for a reversal based trade when I am in improving phase. So now I started implementing other, it may be indicator, it may be strategy, but now I am going only based on the double confirmation, where I want to go long, I want to go short. So this confirmation part comes under realizing that I'm pushing myself in a impulsive trade. Then now it is not an impulsive trade. I am making sensible trade, which is my setup is coming, I'm taking the trade, I'm entering with a 0.25 lot, and I'm confirming everything goes as per the plan or as per the momentum in a particular FX or gold, anything. Then I will go for the next trade with multiple lots to book the decent profits per day goal, which is I can commit myself, and I will be committing to the account which is I will be managing as well.
Yes. Okay. So Shivam, again, I'd just like to just sort of clarify it for the audience as well. And again, by no means am I interrupting you, because I find it really insightful. And personally, I could take a pen and pad and just write notes and listen to you all day long, because I think it's fantastic, your psychology and the way that you think. But just to basically narrow it down for those that are learning about this and that want to get involved and ultimately want you to basically manage their accounts, your improvement as a trader has obviously inevitably come from the fact that you never gave up. To us all here at RSG, you're almost like the sacrificial lamb, because you was the one that put yourself through it. A lesser person will just maybe, okay, here's $1,000. Let's take on a challenge. It's blown up. I've lost my $1,000. Now what? Now I do something else in my life. People don't realize that to become brilliant at something, you have to keep practicing. You have to keep basically, it's repetitive. That's something that you did. That's made you a better trader, because you learned over those 6 months. You just kept learning different strategies. You said it yourself, a few accounts. I mean, we spoke offline, obviously, before we got involved on this call. You mentioned yourself, you've had a couple of accounts that you did blow, and this is part of the journey. And this is why we have the brokerage here, because we bring experience to the table. So our traders have been through the difficult parts, but now they've unlocked the formula in their own ways that basically allows obviously trades to be profitable. So one element of your improvement is to basically never give up. But a second element I'd like to say, and I know you just mentioned this as well to clarify, is that you allocate your strategy by not taking too many risks.
Yes.
And I know that you trade, on some cases, you only trade on a couple of days over the period of 5 days. So you trade on a Tuesday and a Thursday, you mentioned to me, because that's when you sort of have your strong trading days, and then you leave it at that. You don't over push the trades, and you're very, very risk cautious, if I'm correct, and that you protect the integrity of the account. So definitely for me, to actually want to work with you and to bring you on board at RSG and manage our clients' accounts, this was a fundamental factor for us. The fact that you take very pragmatic decisions as to how you basically manage accounts. Because here at RSG, we have one goal. Our goal is to protect our clients' accounts. It's not about how much profits we make as a company. Our clients are winning, we're winning. It's as simple as that. We're here to build a business. So for me, the reason why I wanted to work with you, and you're managing now that $100,000 recovery account from one of our clients, is because of the way that you manage. And today, you already hit, trades, and you've already hit profits. So, we're basically narrowing down.
Yeah, there is a trade. So.
Yes, so we're really narrowing down that loss, and we're basically from 98,000 now to 99,000, I believe.
Yes.
100,000 back to where we need to be. So already your strategies are moving forward. Great. So just to sort of push forward, in regards to this really will be my last question for now, is that you are recovering accounts and you've taken on board $100,000 account that was sitting at 98,800 when you took it on board last week.
Yes.
You've already turned the trades around and we're sitting on 99,000 from if I'm correct, because obviously the information that has been given to me. How do you manage recovery accounts? I mean, this is fundamental. Please, Shivam, what is your view on this?
Yes, sir. So the important part is human have a tendency to make a mistakes. When you do mistakes, do one thing that do you deliberately did that, or did you some things makes you do that? Why? What I understood when I go deep into technical, the best part you have to spend time with psychology. So the psychology of things around you, the everyday, I wouldn't say there is a pressure. You say that what is it? I need to pay bills. My mom is calling. My uncle is need money. So there are other stuff is when you happening there. You focus on the market with that. You are not making money. You are taking a risk. This is the business. It's a trading. It's investment. If you understand the risk will pay you not now, but in a couple of consistency days. That is one thing. Why I like recovery? Recovery is the one. I think this is the fourth recovery account which I am handling after I met you. So the one thing
the fourth recovery account that you're handling. So prior to us, you're handling three other accounts.
Yeah, three accounts. Yes. So what went wrong?
One quick thing for the audience is that a recovery account, guys, is when we basically are given accounts that have been taken on by traders that basically want to pass prop challenges but are struggling with those accounts, or at the same time have passed prop challenges, but now that the accounts are live and active, they're struggling to basically create profit. So this is where RSG come onto the table as well. We take on these accounts and we bring them back on a profit, and obviously we organise some form of profit split with the traders and obviously with our traders like Shivam. Shivam, please carry on. Thank you.
Yeah, so I want to add one important point. This one, the pausing a challenge, there is a better chances happening. Some prop firms are doing it manually and they give unlimited time. Some prop firms allow you HFT trading, assuming that you pause the account.
Basically, important that we clarify this. Remember, our clients are going to need to learn this. Manual trading is something that we do 80% of the time here at RSG. The only time we use HFT trading, let's just say it's like bot trading, which is basically we do when we want to
only for demo challenge. Yes, only for pausing a demo.
When we want to get a funded account. So on the front page, the funder account, sometime, depending on the prop firms that we work with, we have our own in-house HFTs that we basically develop and use. When we have live trading accounts, we basically manual trade. So just want to clarify that for the audience.
Yeah, that clarification is only for thing. Once you got funded, don't get excitement. Don't get you got 100k, 200k, 300k, 400k. Sit, take your time. What is your strategy to safely safeguard this account till you want to get? So this I remember one quote done by this Apple founder Steve Jobs. So he always thinks of what if the current moment is the last moment, what he wanted to do. So that is the key question you ask. This is the funded account given by my esteemed clients. So how do I keep it live for next 90 days? 90% of people losing the funded account in 90 days, that is the big challenge. Don't get excited. The excitement won't work in funded account. I can write it immediately, don't get excited, because that's why people are losing the funded account. There is a statistics. If 25 people posing the challenge, either it's a manual, either it is using HFT or any bot, 10 people are funded. Out of 10 people, only 3 people going for the first payout. Even after 5 people, only 1 people going for a 3 payout. That is the biggest challenge. That is the biggest responsibility. So, as in RSG, I want to tell you that we have a commitment on our scale, on every month scale. But because of the scaling of plan, I will not rush my team. So the rushing is not helping at any. Even if you have a 600k, the rushing won't help. That is why, as a retailer, it is an institutional trader. So they have a lot of things to put in place where all the retailers are like a traps. So they are getting into traps. They are losing their account by not to have a proper system. Plan for your system, work for your system, improve your system. That is what I want to be honest with you in this forum, that I think I blown out more than 7 challenges. I paused more than 5 challenges. So there is a gap which is I want to put it down, because I started focus.
Gap comes from the period when you spent 6 months learning more about how to basically build a formula. Because if something that I've learned from this in this last Q&A is that people through, and this is very interesting actually, is that they go through HFT and bot passing strategies. So they'll get someone to pass the accounts for them.
That's the easiest way.
Yeah, because it's the easiest way to do it, right? It makes sense. Then people think, well, I'll go through this shortcut. I'll then get this account funded through the bot. That's work for them. Now, when it comes to manual trading, they have a plan, no system in place, no strategy, and all of a sudden, and also, they're rushing and they want to turn over. They want to turn over big profits.
No, I want 1,000k today only. I want that won't happen. So.
Because like I said, if somebody else is turning over 10 to 14% a month, and we have traders on the book that are capable of that. We've got trade history of traders that are doing that. That doesn't mean that every trader is going to be hitting 10 to 14% a month. Some could be hitting 6 to 8% a month. This is obviously an ROI system for our client, because we give them returns based on worst case scenario, but they're still turning over good profits depending on obviously what they're invested. It always works out for them. But the key point here is that without a systemized approach, without having a plan in place, you're just going to burn and blow those accounts. And people tend to try and go through shortcuts all the time. This really is the issue. So my last question then, there is one more question, Shivam, I want to ask, and I do apologize. I don't need to cut. We've got a time limit, and I want to try and simplify this for our clients. Is what confidence can you give our clients at RSG that their investments are going to be safe with you, Shivam? What confidence can you give them? How will you trade? And please simplify it. And how will you trade? How will you manage? And how will you aim to protect the integrity of my clients and their accounts?
Instead of saying the confident, I would say that I have a system which is improving, and I will be improving more. So why I'm keeping all these things? Because the market is not one always goes like I'm buying it, selling it. It's not happening. Market dynamics changing. The things around us are also changing, because these artificial intelligence come into picture, and the way the financial market is exploring more new opportunity, like the Bitcoin stuff, so many options around us. Because the makeshift happening in the market or breakthrough happening in the market, that is directly coming to the big guys, because they are the one who's controlling the market. When big thing is happening around us, we will be spending our time to gain more knowledge how the market shift is happening. The gold is always giving the better trades only on weekend or only on Tuesday. So I will be figuring out what is working there. So I like to tell that invest on this one. We are the traders, including me and whatever other person coming with the board. So we will sit and plan our strategy, even refining with the different sort of experienced trader around in RSG. That is what we can do. That we will figure out, and we will work with the programs to know that how to keep the funded account live for the people.
Okay.
So we have a system, and we have a emotionally strong people. I would say I'm emotionally strong, because the things is not happening on a day. I will keep you ping you or something, sir. I'm not ready. So unless we are not taking impulsive trade, this will be the big. This exploration will be really big. So we won't rush. We have a system, and we will improve the system. I have a system. That's the reason that I committed to recover that account. And so on a day, like it is in 3 or 4 days, I would, when I got a recovery account. What you may have seen that I've started being consistent on it. So when I started with you, sir, I said that I will work on my system, and there will not be any interference. But what the second thing is do, as it is a Monday, I want to tell this forum that there are certain days, there are some behavior you can see in on the market. When market is not helping you for a good trade, avoid that day or reduce your exposure to keep this funded account safe. That is what very important is.
Okay.
So funded account is the one who having a kid after 10 to 15 days of 15 years of marriage. Some people are still praying God that give me one, because they may have rich or they may be poor, but after a couple of years, if they blessed one baby, that is the big blessing for everybody. So to me, what I see is getting funded is easy. Keeping it live and making them consistent with focus, and that is what the focus is.
Where
so
you're
yes.
So again, just to overview, and that was fantastic. I think that was your best answer in all of this. I mean, everything is insightful, but the clients ultimately want to know how Shivam is going to manage their accounts and how to protect their interests. Okay, so here what we've realized, guys, is that Shivam has a system in place. From everything that we've learned from this conversation is that he is a trader that has a strategy. He's a trader that doesn't copy anyone else. That makes him his strengths, and obviously therefore he has no weaknesses in terms of looking at other people, watching what they're doing and trying to replicate that. He has his own way of trading. He doesn't get blinded by greed. He's very pragmatic. Certain weeks he'd only take a couple of trades a week, and that's it. Maybe work over a couple of days, because if he feels a market is going to be overexposed, he will take a step back. And that should ultimately tell you guys that the way that Shivam trades is that he has a system in place, a strategy in place. He'll only trade when he feels this is the right time to trade, and he will always look at basically protecting the accounts by going at worst case scenario, but obviously always working for the best case scenario. And this way he's always in profit, turning over profit, and he's steady. He manages recovery accounts as well. We know this. He's already taken on $100,000 on behalf of our clients as of last week. This week he started trading on it, and he's already hit profit. So we're moving forward closer to basically recovering that funded account, getting it back to 100K, and then going into profit mode. I think, Shivam, we can wrap it up from here. And I would say thank you very much for your time, for giving me the time, for giving the audience this time. You are the blessed one to be the very first person on the first episode. So maybe
thank God for that.
That your energy and your blessings takes us forward. We want to build something very honest, very transparent. We want to work with people like yourself that are honest and transparent, that are real traders with real psychologies. And I'm excited to build this forward for the communities. I think the community members are going to be excited to hand over their prop trading firm accounts to you. And we are all very excited to be working with you. And thank you very much, Shivam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.